Before we get into this video, for all of you MMA and UFC fans out there, make sure you guys show some love and subscribe to our new channel, The MMA Entertainer, which is going to be featuring some truly awesome MMA and UFC content that you don't want to miss. The link to the new channel is in this video's description. We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some big news coming out of last night's AEW Dynamite episode, which featured the massive debut of none other than Jeff Hardy, who was sadly released out of nowhere from WWE in late 2021. The rumors of Jeff Hardy making the move to join his brother Matt Hardy in All Elite Wrestling have come true, and by all means this is news that many fans are very happy about, as most were truly unhappy with the way Jeff Hardy had been treated during his latest run in WWE, and that he was being misused to a crazy degree, and that the right career move was for Jeff Hardy to start off fresh and join AEW. In recent weeks, there were reports that WWE had been attempting to convince Jeff Hardy to return after his shock release, and that WWE even offered Jeff a place in the 2022 Hall of Fame, but Jeff Hardy refused these offers and instead chose to sign with AEW, which again is a decision that lots of fans are very content with. Jeff Hardy is now once again reunited with his brother Matt, and there's no doubt that Jeff has a bright future ahead of him in All Elite Wrestling, and hopefully Hardy's treated like the wrestling legend he truly is. Now there's no doubt that Jeff Hardy is nearing the end of his in-ring career at 44 years of age, but we hope Jeff Hardy stays healthy and able to compete as long as possible, because Jeff definitely deserves one last solid run before making that inevitable retirement. And it is very likely that Jeff will finish off his career on a much higher note alongside his brother Matt Hardy in the Hardy Boys reunion in AEW than had he had simply stayed in WWE and continued his downward spiral in the mid-card with literally no direction, momentum, or any plans for him. Jeff Hardy received a great reception from fans following his AEW debut last night, so it is clear that Jeff Hardy is still very much a big name in wrestling despite his lackluster booking towards the end of his WWE run. Regardless, let us know your thoughts on Jeff Hardy's AEW debut last night on Dynamite. And are you happy to see Jeff reunite with his brother Matt Hardy in AEW, or do you feel like Jeff should have considered the WWE's recent offer to make a comeback after his release late last year? We now have some very noteworthy news regarding former NXT champion Bron Breakker that you definitely need to know. As most of you are likely well aware, on the recent NXT Roadblock show, Bron Breakker inadvertently lost his NXT championship to Dolph Ziggler, with Ziggler pinning Tommaso Ciampa in the triple threat match to pick up the major surprise title win. And since then, there has been a lot of concern regarding Bron Breakker's future in WWE, and what the company had planned for him moving forward, whether in NXT or elsewhere in WWE. While according to a new backstage rumor, there is reportedly talk behind the scenes in WWE regarding Bron Breakker soon moving up to the WWE's main roster on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, which is a very possible reason as to why WWE had that shock NXT title change occur on the Roadblock show, with Bron losing his title completely out of nowhere. One of our sources has mentioned that Vince McMahon is very high on Bron Breakker and feels that he has great potential to become a big star for the company in the future. And perhaps with a lack of new up-and-coming stars on the main roster, besides the likes of Austin Theory, Vince maybe felt that Bron Breakker would be a valuable addition to either Raw or SmackDown right now, and that Bron does not need a lengthy build-up in NXT before getting that call-up to the main roster, and is ready right now. Make sure you guys let us know your thoughts on the new rumors that following his NXT title loss, Bron Breakker could very well be getting called up to the WWE's main roster on Raw or SmackDown in the near future. Do you feel like Bron Breakker is ready to get called up from NXT yet and join the main roster, or do you feel like WWE is being a bit hasty with pushing Bron Breakker too soon, and that he needs more time to develop in NXT 2.0? Some fans on social media have expressed that they are excited by the rumors of Bron Breakker joining the main roster soon and feel that he will become a massive star for WWE, whereas others are a bit more skeptical and feel that either Bron Breakker is a bit overrated or simply not ready to leave NXT yet, but let us know your thoughts and sentiments on the whole situation where Bron's concerned. As well, many feel like WWE should also change Bron Breakker's name to Rex Steiner before getting called up, although that doesn't seem very likely at this point. With all that being said, clearly Bron Breakker's future in WWE is extremely bright, despite recently losing his NXT Championship, and 2022 could very well be an absolutely huge year for Breakker in WWE if these new rumors are true. Now, when Brock Lesnar returned to WWE at the SummerSlam 2021 pay-per-view event, the underlying feeling among fans was that this latest run of Brock Lesnar in WWE would likely not be lasting very long, and according to a big new backstage rumor, Brock Lesnar's career in WWE is reportedly coming to an end in the near future. While Brock Lesnar is involved in the main storyline heading into WrestleMania 38 against Roman Reigns with their WWE and Universal title unification match, a new report has leaked that Vince McMahon does not really have any long-term plans for Brock Lesnar in WWE, mainly because Brock only signed with the company last year for a very short amount of time, roughly 1 year give or take. The consensus behind the scenes in WWE right now is that Brock Lesnar will likely be losing to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania this year, and then partake in one more big non-title rivalry in WWE going into SummerSlam 2022, which will apparently be Brock Lesnar's final pay-per-view appearance in WWE during this latest run. Brock Lesnar apparently realizes that he's beginning to slow down at 44 years of age, and wanted to have one final run in WWE before retirement, where he could let loose and have some fun, which is the main reason why Brock Lesnar turned babyface following his return at SummerSlam. And the sad career-ending news revealed recently regarding Brock Lesnar indicates that 2022 could very well mark the retirement of Brock Lesnar in WWE, once his current contract expires later on in the year. We finish off today's wrestling news and rumors video with some rather unfortunate and breaking news regarding Alexa Bliss. Now, by all means, one of the biggest stories in WWE right now is about Alexa Bliss's status in WWE, because while it seemed initially that Vince had some big plans for Alexa Bliss when she returned earlier this year, clearly things have taken a turn for the worse, and it has been revealed by a new backstage rumor that Alexa Bliss is essentially gone from WWE following Elimination Chamber 2022, and has been taken off television. And as of right now, there are sadly no plans for Alexa Bliss to come back to WWE at this point, which is quite baffling and surprising to say the least. Now hopefully WWE realize Alexa Bliss's value to the WWE brand and bring her back soon, but as of right now her status in WWE is sadly quite bleak at this point.